I like rhythm games. Now, yes, I get it. Liking rhythm games isn't a bad thing, but what is a bad thing about it is I really like rhythm games. I played this game when I was 9. 9 years old, and I still play it. It's not even that long. It takes like about 2 hours to beat max. But I digress. I really like Elite Beat Agents, but I kind of don't want to talk about how much I like it in a review format, because if I did that, that'd be very biased and that'd be very disgusting of me as a reviewer. I would really hate myself. So I'm going to make an objective review, basically meaning I'm going to look at every single aspect of it. Keep in mind, making this review was torture, because I had to 100% the game, and that was not easy at all. So without further ado, here's a product of my torture. Here's Elite Beat Agents for you guys.
Also, since I don't have a DS capture card, I need to borrow some footage of the game.
First up, the gameplay. I will sum that up in a gesture. That's it. That's literally how you play the game. Now, is that good? Well, it depends. Like, it's really indecisive. I mean, the tapping itself works fairly well. Like, I've played this on an emulator on my Galaxy S6 before, and it worked very well. But on actual hardware, unless you're playing on something like a DSi, you're gonna get a varying experience, because the DS Lite and DS systems have not aged well, like, at all. This is my DSi from when I was about 9. No, not even. Before, actually. I was about 6 when I got this. Because it was 2009, I got this thing at launch. Now, to kind of demonstrate how different these two are, Jesus Christ, this thing is actually really heavy in the hand. Well, there was that. And, just looking at them, other than the camera, you can kind of see the differences already. To make an even better point, the DSi is thinner, but it's also elongated. Dear God, that is really stupid, actually. Nintendo, why did you do that? Never mind, I found the answer. Anyways, back into the actual game. As everyone knows, that was a botched attempt at flipping it open. There we go. The DS is capable of 3D, because Nintendo decided to launch a game in 2004 that was a remake of a game we all may know called Super Mario 64. It's not the best version, I'm not going to get into that. But we all know that the DS does 3D. Elite Beat Agents technically doesn't need 3D, but it has 3D elements in it, like, for example, the level select, or the character models, or, for some bizarre reason, Commander Khan. Yeah, I'll definitely have to touch on that one in a few minutes. But anyway, the fact that this touch screen, this demon, is incredibly indecisive and incredibly stubborn, you have to kind of put pressure. This one works just like a smartphone. This one doesn't. You have to actually push down on the screen, and I'm not gonna do it on the actual screen because I bought this thing used off of eBay. I don't know if it's defective or anything, but yeah, you have to put pressure on the DS Lite screen, which kind of makes playing Elite Beat Agents a little more of a hassle, considering you have to make sure you hit everything on time directly with pressure. You see my problem here? Yeah, but no, seriously, the DS's touchscreen is like really bipolar. I mean, the DSi thankfully improves on that, but there's still a whole bunch of issues with that one. But in all honesty, I can't review the system itself. Mine is fairly destroyed, actually. But still, like, you know, your experience is gonna vary. On the actual DS, I actually have not used the touchscreen on that one, so I can't say a thing. The DS Lite is iffy. The DSi, the touchscreen is perfect there. I actually almost beat the game on that. But again, I can't say anything about all of them because I don't know. I only know the DS Lite and the DSi. Onto the graphics though, which the 3D thing was a perfect segue. Why did I keep talking? They're good. That's all I'm gonna say. They're good. It takes an anime aesthetic, you know, the original anime aesthetic from the Japanese game, also thought like Uenan, which I'm not gonna try to pronounce that ever again. That was really bad. But it's surprisingly good. It works, I guess. I keep messing with I have ADHD. Okay, I don't know if I actually do, but still, I probably do. And yeah, I just mentioned Osutatake Uen. I swear to God, I'm gonna have a stroke pronouncing that name. But yes, I mentioned that game because this is literally an American localization of the game. Kind of. Not really. It's somewhat in between because this game is literally just completely different. Oh my God, they're very different. Well, this is because Ines actually didn't want to port that game directly over because no one would get anything in the game. Like, it's all about Japanese culture and Japanese pop culture of the time, and just everything about the game is just so Japanese it's not even funny. So what Ines did instead is they completely rebuilt the game, used the same mechanics, and changed everything just beyond belief. Initially, it was going to feature something along the lines of the Village People, but Ines changed their minds for some reason. There's no real reason as to why. And it was also going to feature Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin, but that was removed, clearly because of licensing issues, since that song was fairly new at the time. Wait, hold on, let me check how new. Okay, the song was 7 years old at the time. And now for, of course, the biggest part of a rhythm game, the audio. Now, because the DS has literally terrible speakers, the audio quality on the system itself sounds like complete trash. But, and hear me out here, people, but the audio fidelity for the voices is insanely well. Like, it is amazing. Nintendo managed to fit that on a freaking... Okay, wait a minute. This cartridge is 128 megabytes. Never mind, there goes that novelty. But it's... Wow. It is a literal... It's just amazing. It's shockingly amazing how Nintendo was able to make... Well, Nintendo and Ines, technically. How they were both able to fit such high fidelity clips onto this little thing. But, the songs do sound like garbage because they had to be compressed for this little thing that I can't hold up right because it's so small. Did I get into the bugs yet? Oh God, I didn't. For some reason, Elite Beat Agents has a ton of bugs, and oh my God, I'm crying thinking about them. Some of this game's best parts are riddled with bugs. And just badly made things in general. Like, believe it or not, on DS Lite specifically, Lala has one dropped frame on Hard Rock that completely throws everything off. Because for the amount of like 6 or 7 frames before and after the fact, you can't tap a thing. You're stuck with bad rhythm because of that dropped frame. I had to try to find a way to work around that, and I couldn't. So imagine me trying to live with that. Imagine me trying to live without 100. Imagine me trying to live with that freaking 50 that came after the fact. Jesus Christ. Not to mention, this game is also guilty of one of the biggest gaming sins of all time. Backtracking. Backtracking. I hate backtracking. This game is guilty of that because in order for you to rank up to get to the highest rank, which by the way, good freaking luck there, you have to get an S on every single stage. You literally have to replay the stages, get as high a score as possible, and pray to God that the entire score registers as something completely different instead of being added on top of that stage. Holy Christ, that is bothersome. Ugh. It sounds like I hate the game. It sounds like this game is terrible. I promise it's not. Yeah, despite the fact that I literally ranted on about two of the game's biggest problems, it's still not a bad game at all. It's really fun and it's really well made. And if anything, these help at least make it a better game because hopefully Ines remakes this game. Very light chance there. Hopefully Ines remakes this game and makes it better on the Nintendo Switch because that's a system that it will work perfectly on. I was initially going to say something like the Wii U, but in all honesty, I think the Switch is the best place for this game. Well, for a remake, actually. Because it might work. It actually might work. And, you know, of course, maybe they could try to license Live in La Vida Loca. Because I kind of want to see that come into a real stage. Actually, looking back, I wonder how Live in La Vida Loca would have played on this. It probably would have been really fun. Like, really, really fun. I wonder. Yes. Sweet sensation, new kicks, candlelight. She's got a little picture for every day and night. She make you take. This is actually really hard. Please help. So, what's my overall rating for this game? Gonna shift a bit this way. Well, my overall rating for the game is honestly an 8 out of 10. Yeah. Trust me, I'm shocked too. Despite the fact that this game has some bugs and some pretty subpar song decisions, not to mention the one thing I didn't bother to get into because I really don't want to scream, the extreme difficulty curve that you have to understand, literally an understage. Elite Beat Agents just, it's great. It works with every song, like every single stage is made perfectly for every song, including the storylines. Going into that right now, actually. The storylines themselves are actually very unique, and one of them is surprisingly sad, but it's also heartwarming because it's freaking... It's basically just coming to terms with reality. But it's done in the best way possible. And the art style, don't even get me started on that one. The art style is just... It's perfect. It works for the game. It works for the style. It works for everything. And again, the sound quality is ridiculously good on the voice clips. Of course, you wouldn't know this just by listening through the DS. You'd have to use an emulator or wear headphones. Preferably the emulator, because in all honesty, that's the best way to just experience this game. And the one thing I hadn't mentioned so far, it has great multiplayer. I didn't talk about the multiplayer because despite me having 2 DS's, I only experienced the multiplayer one time. With my brother. With 1 card. I think that says enough right there. I don't need to go further into detail. Why do you want me to go further into detail, huh? I'm not gonna go further into detail for something that I played literally almost 7 years ago. You don't wanna go. You don't wanna go.